Hey, here we're going to talk today about closing entries. We're going to go through the PowerPoint. We have a separate video on actually doing the closing entries. Our one true permanent equity account is capital. We've talked about how under owner's equity is capital and drawing or withdrawals, owner withdrawals. We've also talked about how an offshoot of equity are the revenue and expense accounts. However, all of those are what we call temporary accounts. Only the capital account, where we put owner investments in, that's our one true permanent equity account. It's never closed. So for all of those temporary accounts, we set them up, we use them for that accounting period, and then we have to close them out. We have to snap back whatever is in those temporary accounts back into the one true permanent equity account of capital. If we are talking about a corporation, our one true permanent equity account is called retained earnings instead. Now, to be able to close, we are going to set up one more temporary account, which is called income summary. Okay, so we're going to have to, all these temporary accounts all have to be closed out. That means whatever's in them has to be brought down to zero. Now notice we didn't say anything about assets or liabilities. Those are permanent accounts as well. We do not ever close out a permanent account. Just these temporary accounts at the end of the accounting period. The accounting period is a month. Then at the end of the month, after we've done all our worksheets and our adjustments and everything, then we can close out those temporary accounts and we start fresh at the beginning of the month with all those temporary accounts at zero, so we can add those months. That allows us to compare how much utility expense we had from February versus March. They're not all just balled up in there together where we can't compare them. As managers, we want to be able to look at February versus March. We also want to look at how much utilities expense did we have in February of this year compared to February of last year. So by having only February's in the utility expense account, then at the end of February we close that out so that for March we start out with zero, then whatever gets put in there in March, at the end of March we close it out to zero again. That way each month is a standalone month, and we have that number for that month before we close it. Now there's 4 steps to doing closing. So the first step, remember we said we're going to start this new temporary account called income summary. Sometimes in a company they don't even set up an account called income summary in the ledger, but if they did, it would have an account number that starts with a 3, so just like a capital and drawing. It would be listed after drawing, and it would be called income summary. It would start with a 3. Some companies don't even put it in the ledger because of the fact that we're going to use this income summary account for about 5 minutes, and then it'll be closed. So rather than having this big thing sitting in the ledger, sometimes we don't even put it in. Also, you have to know that sometimes in some companies we'll call these adjusting entries rather than closing entries. and they'll just put them in with the after the adjustments. However, you have to have an adjusted trial balance that is before closing entries. Okay, so these four main steps is that we have to find all the revenue accounts, and those are temporary accounts. We have to close them all out to income summary so that by the time we're done, the revenue amount will be sitting in income summary and the revenue account will be zero. We have to close then expenses to income summary. So again, when we're done posting, the expense accounts will all be zero. Income summary will have their expense numbers in there. Then we're going to turn around and close income summary itself to capital. So the income summary, whatever balance is in there, if it's a credit balance, we're going to debit it so we can bring it to zero. If it's a debit balance, we're going to credit it so we can bring it to zero. We're going to bring that income summary account to zero. So that's why I'm saying we're only using it for 5 minutes. We're doing 3 different journal entries involving income summary, and then we're done until the end of next month. Now, in this way, both the revenues and expenses have finally been transferred to the capital account. It's our one true permanent equity account. Finally, our last temporary account was the drawing account, and we are going to close that out. Means we'll bring it to zero, and then we'll put that number straight into the capital account. We won't put it into income summary. If we're doing the bookkeeping on computerized software such as QuickBooks or Sage 50, that software will do the closing entries for us. And so we don't need to worry about income summary, etc. It will automatically close the revenues and the expenses and the drawing all to the capital account, and we won't have to actually put in journal entries for it. Okay, so the first step that we said of closing was to close the revenues. So revenues have a credit balance. We know that from our debit and credit charts, that revenues, if we increase a revenue, that's a credit. So therefore their normal balance is a credit. Okay, so to close the revenues, we're going to have to debit them to bring them down to zero. So if I have a $100 credit balance in a particular sales or revenue account, I'm going to have to do a $100 debit. Then by the time I post it, it'll have a balance of zero. Now, if I debit the revenue account, that means I'm going to have to do the opposite to the income summary, which is to credit it. My debits, for every journal entry, my debits must equal my credits. Okay, and so we would credit income summary. Okay, and where are we getting these numbers from the revenue accounts? Well, of course, they would be in the general ledger, assuming we've posted everything, including any adjustments, have already been posted. Everything has to have been already posted before we start this closing process. Okay, so we could do it straight from the ledger and take the numbers from there. If we have a worksheet, it makes it that much easier to go ahead and use the worksheet. Okay, so here again is the example. If the revenue account is sales and it has a credit balance of $100, we would need to debit the revenue account. So we're going to debit sales for the $100. Once I post that, sales will be zero. And I'm going to do the opposite to income summary. So I debited sales, so I have to credit income summary for the $100. And there's my explanation to close revenues to income summary. We would also have a date, of course, for the journal entry, and that would be the last day of that accounting period. So if it's February, it would be February 28th. Now the second step is that we have to close expenses into income summary. Now expenses all have a debit balance. So I'm going to need to credit each expense account to bring it to zero. And I have to do the opposite to income summary, so I'll have to debit income summary. Now you can do each expense, close each expense separately, credit each expense, and debit income summary. All right, where are we going to get these expense accounts that we're going to close by crediting? They will be on the income statement column of the worksheet, just like the revenues, if we have a worksheet. Otherwise, we'll take them off the general ledger. And again, everything has to be posted before we do this. Now, we can do each expense separately, credit the expense, debit income summary for each separate one, but that would be a lot of journal entries. So we can put them, list each credit of each expense, but only have one debit, which would be to income summary for the total. Here's an example. If the worksheet shows 3 different expenses, wages for 40, utilities for 20, and rent for 10, we would have to credit wages expense for 40, utilities expense for 20, and rent expense for 10. And then the total of those is 90, and we would debit income summary for 90. Again, we would have the date, whatever's the last date of that accounting period. We have our explanation to close expenses to income summary. Now we need to close the income summary account in step 3. And before we close it, we need to first determine its balance. If the revenues are more than the expenses, income summary is going to have a credit balance. If expenses are more than revenues, it's going to have a debit balance. So we don't really know what the balance is and whether it's debit or credit. So the best way to do it is to draw ourselves a little T account and see what balance it has. If it has a credit balance, we'll need to debit it to close it. If it has a debit balance, we'll need to credit to close it. And whatever is the opposite of what we do to close income summary is what's going to go in capital. So if I credit income summary, I'm going to debit capital. If I debit income summary, I'm going to credit capital. Be careful not to close the capital account. A lot of people just look on the worksheet and they say, oh, here's the capital account, I'll close it. You're not closing the capital account. It's our one true permanent equity account. It never gets closed. Okay, you're closing income summary. So you have to figure out the balance of income summary and then close it out. Do the opposite thing to capital, not close capital to zero. Okay, so you're going to make a T account. You're going to put in whatever you did for income summary from step 1 and whatever you did from income summary from step 2. Put those into the T account, then foot and balance that T account, and then you'll know whether you need to debit or credit income summary. So here we have a $100 credit from step 1 from income summary, and here we had a $90 debit from step 2. So we put those into our income summary T account. We foot and balance, big number minus the small number, put it under the big number. So 100 minus 90 is 10, okay? $10 credit balance. I'm going to need to debit income summary to bring it down to 0. Then I will do the opposite to the capital account. I will credit the 10.